A year ago, on April the 17th, President Lula became a political prisoner after an arrest warrant was issued by the then judge and now the Minister of Justice and Public Security under Jair Bolsonaro, Sergio Moro. Lula was unjustly accused and convicted of the alleged property of an apartment in the city of Guarujá with no evidence of that fact. He never used the apartment, nor was it in his possession, and evidently belonged to a company, ORS. The accusation of corruption is a complete fabrication because it belongs on indeterminate facts. But that wasn't the purpose of the game. The purpose of the game was to ensure that Lula could not contest the elections, and so that the forces of the right, of reaction, of repression could gain the upper hand. And sadly, that is what we have today in Brazil. This is part of an international happening. Across the world, there are similar gatherings across Brazil taking place this week to commemorate the unjust and illegal incarceration of President Lula. So we ask you to contact the government, contact your member of parliament, write to the Brazilian ambassador and ask that this travesty be overturned. Freedom for Lula!
Freedom for Lula!
Lula Livre!
Lula Livre!
Freedom for Lula!
Freedom for Lula!
Lula Livre!
Lula Livre!
A luta continua!
A luta continua!
Tá bom.
Amigos, vocês querem, obrigada a todos que vieram, a gente continua aqui. Se alguém quiser ter alguma palavrinha e falar um pouco, tá joia? Eu vou dar a palavra aqui um pouco para Fernanda. Fernanda?
So I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be here this afternoon, supporting Lily and the freedom for Lula. Lula Livre is a very important demand for the left at the moment. It doesn't matter if you like the party or not, if you we know this judgment is not fair, and we know Lula is not in jail because corruption. They are persecuting him because the positive achievements, and because they wanna was the only way they could put the right in power in Brazil again. So I think it's fair for all of us to be together, and at the moment the people like Lily, they are still very positive about the party, about Lula, are being targeted in Brazil, and we need to raise this as well because it's a concern. The hate growth for those people, for the party, so they could alienate people, and convince them that a shameful president, like a shameful guy as Bolsonaro, could be a good president for Brazil. So they want to pass all those bills, and they want us to lose our rights that we have to fight so much to get in there, and now we are just going to lose it. So I think if we want to fight for our rights, we need to fight for Lula Livre as well. And all this disgraceful situation in Brazil, the loss of democracy, this everything, like what happened to Marielle. There was murder in Brazil just a bit more than a year ago as well. Like just this authority growing, and they think they can do whatever they want. So this putting Lula in prison is one more example of the power and what the dominant class can do in Brazil. But we are going to fight. We are fearless as well, and we are going to keep fighting, as we always did. Thank you. Thanks for being here.
Lula Livre!
Presente.
Marielle presente!
Marielle presente.
I would like to repeat this here. Yes. Em português, se o ódio pelo Partido dos Trabalhadores te faz apoiar o racismo e domestic violence e tortura e homofobia, o problema não é do partido, o problema é em você. If you don't support racism, don't support torture, sorry my English, torture, thank you, my daughter. Don't support homophobia, my daughter is very good, okay? And I would like now give it a speech for
Hi, my name's Joe Montero, and I'm not Brazilian. I'm here with a related cause, and that's Venezuela. Now, I'm one of three people. Lucha Livre, who's there, there's a second and a third one, Federico Fuentes. Unfortunately, he lives in Sydney, so he's not here at the moment. The three of us went to Venezuela on a fact-finding mission. But before I go on that, I'd like to mention something about the connections with what's going on in both countries. Now, I have been following something of what's been going on in Brazil, and I understand that Bolsonaro represents those forces because he's got a military past, and he represents those officers in the military who were part of the old military dictatorship. He is one of their people. He is also closely connected with the big ranchers there, the big landowners. And it's not surprising that one of the most recent things he's done, he's announced he's going to give open slather to cutting down the Amazon, which should be a concern to us all around the world, because the Amazon is one of the major lungs of the world. It produces our oxygen and sucks up carbon dioxide. So we should be really concerned about that. But it isn't only that, because what happened in Brazil represents part of what's going on through Latin America, and that is a rollback of gains made by people fighting for better conditions, more rights over recent years. And there's a big push to roll that back throughout the continent. And we see the United States leading this and actually returning to the old Monroe Doctrine, where it was openly stated, and it's been openly stated again, that Latin America, the two continents, the two Americas, are the United States